Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had a really good weekend. My husband and I were celebrating our 9th anniversary, and to celebrate, I made him an anniversary mini, sort of like telling a little bit of our relationship, to relive some of the most important moments in our relationship. And this is my first mini that I have done from scratch, kind of thing. So even the chipboard was like 8 by 11, and I had to cut everything down. And also it's the first time that I did vintage style. So I hope you like it. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I did. So let's get started. And I used the paper line Romantique by Graphic 45. I'm sure you can recognize the papers. And on the front cover here, I have a large Prima flower, and I have some Prima bling that I cut up and I scattered around the cover. And I have two of the Prima E-line flowers that I inked and glimmer misted in with fields, I believe. And then I used this little metal brads by Making Memories in the centers, and I have the baby Prima roses too, and those were as well glimmer misted. I also have this crochet trim that I adhered to the edge using my double-sided sticky tape. And so the title is Our Love Story, and the words our and love I printed with my Dymo label maker, and this is a dash ticket. And finally, here in the cover, I have let me just highlight that in there. I have this is actually one of those frames that you can find at Michael's, and I got this from the dollar bin, and it was a bright orange color. And what I did was I primed it using gesso, which is like my new favorite thing to do. I put gesso on everything lately. So I primed it on using gesso, and then I painted the whole thing with Making Memories paint. I believe it's called craft color. And once that was dry, then I took a wet baby wipe, and I dipped it lightly on black paint, and then I just brushed it a little bit. So I don't know if you can see. There's like a little bit of black there. So that's what that is, to give it that vintage antique look, and that would tie in with the paper. I didn't want it to be all black because it would look too dark. So that is a photo of my husband and I. And let's go over to the next page. And I'm using, I forgot this. This I liked a lot. This is a Tim Holtz swivel clasp, and then I hung a heart locket and a key from it. And I have some lace and trim, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep that because I'm using the D rings, Tim Holtz D rings, and it's very hard to operate the book. I'm not sure if I'm using it correctly. I may not be using it the right side or something, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep that. So then I have the first page, and let's see if I can open that. And on my first page, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so on my first page I have the first rose that he ever gave me, and I still had it in a book. So I just took it and I glued it down here, and I put a piece of packaging over it and secure the whole thing with brads. And I have here first rose, again with my Dymo, and this is all from the same paper collection except for this pinkish paper. This is from Life's Journey from K & Company, by K & Company. And basically throughout the book, I wanted to have the same cohesive embellishments. So you're gonna see a lot of feathers, and then I have bling fairly in most pages, and then I have these Heidi Swapp ghost, they're called ghost shapes, and these are the clocks. So I have these running throughout the book, and a few metal embellishments as well. So that was the inside cover, and then I have here the next page. And for this page, I just had 2 of those strips of photos you get from the movie theaters, and this is when we first started going out. This is, you know, we were probably just friends supposedly here. So that was one of our earliest photos we have together. And then I have a little metal embellishment that says love. And these were little yellow bicycle chip pieces, and they were raw. So I painted them in dark brown, and then I rubbed black diamond stickles over them to make them look distressed like that. And I have another Heidi Swapp clock in here. And for the next page, on this page, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. So on this page I have a photo of our first Christmas together. So we were probably here dating for a few months, 5 or 6 months or so. And then here on the border I have some lace that is scrunched up, and I adhered with the double-sided tape again. And then on this side I burned it to give it more of a ruffled look, and to make it a more vintage. And then I don't know if you can see, I have some sequins running down the middle where the glue would be, so you're gonna see the adhesive in there. And then I have one of the bloomers, Webster's Pages bloomers, which was the same color, that peachy color of the paper. And this one says romance, and this is what do you call that? Embossed. This is embossed, and this is my first time trying embossing powder, so it didn't come out too well, but I don't know, I don't mind it. Okay, so for the next page I have a pocket, and these are the 2 tags that go in there, and this one says love. And most of these stamps are either from Tim Holtz, or these ones are Tim Holtz, and the other ones are, I think, Inkadoo or Autumn Leaves, I'm not sure. So for the pocket here, I just use cardstock and some of the cutout flowers, and then I use the bloomers here to give this some dimension. So I have the tag, and this is very simple, stapled in with some ribbon, and I have pattern paper in one side and mostly cardstock in the other. And everything here was etched in the whole book. Everything was the edges were inked with black soot ink, distress ink. This one here, this is another example of how I messed up the embossing powder business. It's supposed to say "Listen to Your Heart" from Tim Holtz, but it doesn't look very clear because I melted too long. And then you have that vintage bride there, and the back is another photo, and it goes right back in there easily. And I'm gonna stop here because I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna come back with part 2. So come back with part 2 so that you can see the rest. Thanks.